Good morning, everyone. Should be live now. We'll see if it does work. Welcome to the absolute mess. Good morning, Mr. Ireland. Good morning, Gerald. We have to do our regular cleanup before we get started with anything here. Should be able to record videos today. So here is a new box with the cutouts for the STQT connectors, and I have a new top plate which will be used eventually, not this time because I still need to make the OLED holder. You can almost see your desk. Yeah. So yeah, this is perfectly modeled. I think I'm getting the hang of FreeCAD. So this is the piece. I have to say, the Voron prints incredibly well. You put some PLA in there, and then this is PLA instead of the PETG from before. You put some PLA in there, and these prints are sublime. So yeah, this fits on there perfectly with the holes for the STQT, and look, the lid lines up. Everything sort of lines up. So that is good. This is all good. Morning, Lock Watcher. We have to open some mail this morning before we get started and put stuff away. But then we're recording. I'm going to try to make 2 PCBWay videos. By the way, I think I mentioned that I have to get the pool filled up, and that was supposed to happen in a couple of weeks. Now it is happening Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it's more than a 1-day ordeal. It's about a 3-day ordeal. So that is going to be happening next week, which is fine. I do wish my sponsorship money would have come through. But more important than that, I am pretty excited to have it be finished. I just want to go back to normalcy. Okay, this place is an absolute mess. We'll have to clean this up before recording, but let's do some unbaggings, shall we? Put this over here. So I'm guessing Franco is napping. That's his usual state of being at this time. All right. Pile of mail. Oh, wait, maybe I should move. There's some stuff like these things sitting in front of me. And these things, some multimeters. Ugh. There we go. Okay, so tomorrow, if I do stream, it might be a short stream because we need to get stuff ready for the contractors. Okay, well that answers the question as to where the rest of these big 2.4 inch, or sorry, 1.54 inch displays are. So there we go. Got a whole bunch of those. Took 10 minutes yourself. Was working in the shop early this morning. Nice. So now I've got a shit ton of these displays because my plan is for these to be my standard display, but we will see how that goes. I've yet to finish the design on a holder. Here's the rest of the mail we have to open up. Okay, this is interesting. So, One Circuit. I don't know if you've heard of his YouTube channel, One Circuit. But he did... Actually, there's something else related to this. He did a video where he had a solar panel sitting outside. He's Australian, so he has a lot of sun. But essentially, this is a PCB that you put two 18650 holders on, which I have got plenty of, and you put 18650s in there, and this takes an input, 5-volt input, and charges the cells, and when you disconnect the 5-volt input, the cells power your device. So this is like a UPS unit. I got two of them because I want to check out the circuitry, A, and B, when I get a yard back, which will be in like literally a week from today, I'll have a yard again. I want to put a weather station at the far end of the yard, like an ESP32, and then communicate. So I've got those UPS units and this that came in. So this is like a rotatey, locky base thing with some drywall anchors and some screws. And then one of these. So the deal is I'm going to have like a remote communication station out in the far end of my yard, gathering sunlight, and an ESP32 will be reporting, or an NRF24L01 will be reporting back into the workshop here. So that's the idea. These are like inexpensive parts, but I think can make for a cool project. And especially we're going to see if it survives the harsh Canadian winter. So that'll be interesting to see. So 2 UPS units and a solar panel. Now I have a box for my solar stuff, but it is full. So I don't know where I'm gonna store all this. Fantastic. Next up, this one here. Okay, so these are ESP32s. But these are the fancy ones, S3 N16R8. So they have built-in memory, pretty sure. They're incredibly powerful. They have 2 USBs. One is one is communication. One is just straight USB. I ordered a couple of these. I thought I ordered thought I ordered 2. Turns out I have 4. So these things are incredibly powerful, but this is because a friend of mine, I don't know if that friend is ready to talk about it yet, but a friend of mine has just embarked upon a new open source project, which I think is super cool. And it requires, I believe, 2 ESP32S3s in this form factor. So I guess I have 4. And I am going to be a willing guinea pig for testing it out as he develops it. So this is why I have these. These are like, the S3 is incredibly impressive piece of hardware. And now I have it in its full potential. These were expensive, actually. I'm trying to remember how much I paid. I have my phone. It's easier than going to the PC. Skip the ad, thank you. My orders. What did I pay? So the UPS boards, 2 of them was $6.33 Canadian. The solar panel was $21 Canadian. These guys, so 4 of them ended up being $34 Canadian. So 34 divided by 4, that's almost $10 each. They're $8.50 each. They are incredibly powerful, but apparently I'm going to need that for this project. Let me get my ESP32 box. Plus the CircuitPython runs well. Nice. So yeah, in they go. There we go, into the big box of ESP. So yeah, I'm going to make a video outlining his project once I get it working. Plus you guys are going to be messing around with it with me. So we'll all see together. Ah, yes. These are sticking together, I think. Oh, no. Oh, they're all in. Oh, neat. So these are RFID cards. And the reason I have these is because someone has made a simple request of me. And by simple, I mean, it could be complicated. Let me just get my box to store these in. Here we go. So I was asked to make a movie prop, which I believe I can do. And I think I will take that opportunity to open source the movie prop, so anybody can use it. Only problem is this doesn't really fit in here now, does it? It's too many. So I won't talk about the details too much until we get started on it, but know that I needed a bunch of RFID cards. And now they don't fit in my RFID stack. So that's great. That was a good planning on my behalf. And yeah, you guys will be privy to it. It'll be a challenge. It'll be a big design challenge, essentially. But I think we can do it. I think some of these are also RFID. Just have to be careful not to cut through them. Oh yeah, this. So this is another RFID. I don't know if you've seen these, but these are RFID stickers. So you can stick this inside of 3D prints or anything and get RFID off of them. So I want to play with this, and I think this would make a great video as well. Plus get it underneath the microscope. So these were very inexpensive. Let me, they were more expensive than the cards though, for some reason. Let me just check how much they were. So for 10 of these was $6.33 Canadian, obviously. Checking the RFID cards. Wondering how well they would work with the common reader. Yeah, me too. So the RFID cards were $5.32 for a 10 pack, and these were $6.33 for a 10 pack. So these are more expensive than the cards, so we'll see how well they work. And this I can definitely fit inside the RFID spot. I don't want to bend them or anything. Pretty excited to see about this. In fact, I've owned these RFID devices since the start of the channel because I learned from Julian Eilert about them, and I've never played with them. So there we go. Another package here. Oh, that went flying. So what is this? This is another RP2350B, the WeAct Studio one. I'm curious if it has the new hardware revision. No, still A2. Still the A2 version. But this is the monster one. So it's the big chip. But I just want to confirm that this is the same as the one with the hardware revision problem. I did see that Solder Party, they have their hands on the bigger, Arturo over there has their hands on the new revision without the hardware bug. Yeah, A2, these are identical. So that's fine. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. Still want to do big projects with them. I think the hardware bug won't be too bad. But yeah, essentially these are identical. I guess I figured I was ordering, might as well get a second one. And I think this is the last bag. Oh, feels like there might be other bags in here. Just got to make sure my address isn't on them. Nope. Okay, so Oh, yes. Stemma QT. Pigtails. I hope. They look awfully large. I hope that's Stemma QT. Yep. Finally. The hardware bug is, yes, something, if you leave the inputs floating, they don't pull up or down, they stay at a weird like half state. I don't know if there's a mitigation. They say use strong external pull-ups or pull-downs or something. I don't remember. So yes, Stemma QT plugs, we got them. So that's a good addition. Also this is, since I'm using regulators in all my projects now, these are 50 AMS 1117. These are the 5-volt versions. Yep. And then these are should be the 3.3 volt versions. Just to supplement my old stock from years and years ago. 3.3, yeah, AMS 1117 3.3, and AMS 1117 5.0. So there we go. Oh, big stretch. So the thing is, I only have room for the smaller ones, for the 3 volts. And in fact, I'm not convinced I should mix the stock. I'll have to think about it some other time. I'll probably make one of these bins into a AMS 1117 or like a regulator bin for the stemma connectors and the regulators. Yes, I can indeed. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Good morning, Adam. Makes sense because you're going to want the I2C scanner PCB. Let's see. Let me just my orders. Oh, I don't know. AliExpress is breaking. All right. So they're the 1 millimeter, the SH 1 millimeter. Get link, copy. No, I'll do it now. Oops. And then the AMS 1117. Pin message. So yeah, the female ones that come with this, I don't think will fit the board. I can check. They will, but they'll stand upright. That's a temp sensor. Isoword C scanner. Let me just confirm that the footprint is not identical, but it will work. So the ones that come in that link, the footprint is not exactly the same, but it does line up well enough. So if you want some straight up and down Stemma QTs, the ones in the link will work. And the fact that it comes with a pigtail is the way to go, in my opinion. I'll probably solder these up to a female 4-pin. So now the problem is we have a shit ton of mess to clean up before we can get filming. The temp sensor works though. That was a really good sign. I don't know why I soldered my RP2040s directly to these. I guess these will be my production units and I'll use pin headers for the other ones. But this case looks good. I like it. It fits pretty perfectly. This is the printed in PLA. No problem. What mic am I using? Are you wearing it? Yes, I am. So this was sent by a Patreon supporter of mine. So they wanted a podium they use in universities, like lecture halls. So they wanted one, so they bought one on auction, and it came with the electronics. And so it came with this AKG PT450 pocket transmitter. So that's what I use. However, it runs on a AA inside here, and it's just, for my purposes, the AA is it doesn't last long enough. So I had a viewer send a whole bunch of these 18650s salvaged from tool batteries. And so I built a little temporary PCB underneath. You've got a buck regulator here to take the 3 volts to 4.2 volts down to 1.5, which is the voltage needed here. And then I have a battery management board down there and a switch to cut off the power from the positive, and hot glued in place. And this, I have streamed the 7-hour live stream and the battery voltage was fine, but I do have the capacity to put a second battery in parallel with this one to double my runtime. So if ever I do a 24-hour stream, I'll very likely use both 18650s and I'll probably be good for the entire stream. So this transmits to a base unit that came with my Patreon supporter sent, which is a SR450 by AKG. and that runs into my Behringer Xenix 1002 FX mixer, which then comes in on a line in on my motherboard. And that Behringer Xenix mixer is the same mixer I use for my podcast. So I like it because it has a high, mid, and low EQ. So those are all set so I have a little bit better sound. It's an elaborate setup, and thankfully I have kind viewers and Patreon supporters, so it wasn't all that expensive. So yeah, that's the deal, my dear. Thanks for asking, though. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here that I need to just deal some other time. You had that mixer on loan for a while. Why on loan? I bought mine. I got lucky. I found one used on Kijiji, which is the Canadian Craigslist. Theoretically, I want a more modern one with USB in, and I want a couple more channels because I would like to, well, the idea was to take the podcast on the road and meet up with people and be able to do it in person. But I don't know what's happening with the podcast. I don't know if we're going to continue it or not. I've missed an episode this week. It's just too difficult to sort of talk about nothing because all I've been doing is working on this project. Roommate at the time let you use it because you're considering getting a mixer. Oh, interesting. So essentially, since I don't know if I'm continuing the podcast or if I'm turning it into a monthly or whatever, the calculus changes a little bit. Okay, can you guys remind me that I threw a whole bunch of packages into my Arduino box and I'm gonna have to deal with it at some time? Thanks. Yeah, no problem. No problem at all. One of my biggest fears is that I one day become a gatekeeper. Gatekeeper is someone who hangs on to information that they've learned in order to stop newcomers coming into their hobby or specialty or whatever. I do not agree with gatekeeper mentality because everybody who is doing anything that requires a modicum of skill or knowledge needed someone else to help them on their journey. They didn't acquire the skills themselves. And if there were gatekeepers stopping them, they would have had a harder time breaking through. So I am an anti-gatekeeper. Do not believe that knowledge should be behind a paywall. Which sucks because it has cost me dearly. I could have just... You worked with some gatekeepers? I hate gatekeepers. I had a friend who was subscribed to some Udemy program through their work. And they let me browse their account just to see, because you get you get to see a snippet of what the course is going to be like before you subscribe to it or whatever. You're looking for a replacement for live stage performance mic. Oh, interesting. So anyways, some of the Arduino content, Arduino microcontrolling, programming, Udemy content is horrible. It is horrible. And so I could have spent 20 hours making a Udemy class and I'd be getting paid for every person who followed it. But I didn't, because I don't want to create trash content and get, charge people for it. It's like, it's crap. So let me tell you, gatekeepers are needed because people don't want the knowledge just of... No, I disagree, Adam. I disagree. Because gatekeeping doesn't mean doing something for someone. Or not gatekeeping doesn't mean you have to do something for someone, but you point them into the relevant space. Like if it's a beginner at Arduino and they're like, oh, I'm just trying to build some, security protocol that, I get door access and all this stuff. The gatekeeping is saying you're horrible. Like you don't, like, give up now, whatever. But saying that this is a project that's a very big project that'll take you a lot of knowledge, and here's the places to get started, that's not gatekeeping. You don't have to do the project for them. You can say, start by doing this kind of stuff, and then this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Like, the thing is, when you're a beginner, you don't know that the project that you're interested in is, is way more than you can chew. You don't know. You're a beginner. You don't have this knowledge. Tell me to go back and learn the basics first. No. It depends on how you say it. It does depend on how you say it. If you're discouraging, then that's wrong. But if you're like, explaining the fact that what they're asking requires years of practice, that's not gatekeeping. That's literally sharing your knowledge. If you say, like, screw off and go learn the basics, that's different. But if you're saying something like, well, just so you know, what you're working on requires years and years of knowledge, I would recommend you start at step 1. That's not gatekeeping. Not at all. That's being, you still have to be realistic. Gatekeeping is being like, oh, before I answer any of your questions, I need you to study 5 years of basic. Once you've studied 5 years of basic, then come back here, then we'll help you. That's gatekeeping. You know what I mean? But like telling someone how it is, like that's completely fine too. You say, just try not to put people down. Just be nice to people. People were nice to you when you were learning. Maybe not actually, but even so, if they weren't, break the cycle. Be the mentor that you wish you had when you were learning. That's the advice I have. Schools and colleges weren't. That's fine. But we now know for a fact that being harsh to someone who's learning doesn't make for a good experience and makes for people quitting. And I know there's a little bit of protectionism, like, oh, if nobody wants to code, then people will have to pay me to code. But that's not a positive thing. It's not a good thing. Okay, I'm almost ready. Is this? Which one's my, oh, this one's my good one. Everything here is PETG except for this one, which is PLA plus. But yeah, be the change. I think this is what I'm getting at here. Be the change you want to see in the world. Oh yeah, and the problem with this is that it doesn't line up. Yeah, this is needs to be redesigned to fit over this. PLA Plus it adds a little bit of flexibility, which adds a little bit of strength. It makes it's less brittle than PLA. PLA is fairly strong, but it's brittle, like it'll crack. So PLA Plus adds flexibility to it. Sort of like an in-between PETG and PLA. Long story about a gatekeeper from work. Keep it simple, he was using his knowledge to get overtime by sabotaging a controller so he could get a call on his day off. Wow. That's not a gatekeeper, that's a thief. I'm not usually one to side with corporations, but that kind of crap makes it so everybody has to deal with stricter rules. Okay, so let's start this. Let's start the video by posing the question, have you ever had, here, let's grab an OLED from my new pile. Okay, so we'll ask the question, have you ever had an I2C device and needed to bringing new people in instead of discouraging makes any craft even better. Being a magician, you've met an, oh yeah, magician, yeah. Here, let me tell you an example. We have hobby shops around here. In fact, some of them are going out of business now because COVID was not kind and the internet is not kind to hobby shop owners. But essentially, I had a Traxxas Revo, which is it's a monster truck with a gas engine. So it's an expensive hobby. But you go to the hobby shop and you ask to order parts, someone at the counter will help you, and then they're asking what you want to order parts for, and if you say it's for a monster truck, a car, you know, a four-wheeled device, they scoff at you because they are RC plane enthusiasts, and RC planes are like 3 times the price back then or more. So they scoff at you for liking, you know, toy cars when they like toy planes. Even worse is when a company called Flight Test, hang on a sec, gotta sneeze. Okay, back. A company called Flight Test started making planes out of this stuff, which is foam board. It's just dollar store, basically foam sandwiched in paper. That's what my drawers are made out of. So they started making planes out of foam board, and it meant that you could get into the air. Here, this is kind of what it looks like. It meant that you can get into the air for like under $100 if you really tried. And the model aviation community hated it because in their mind, if you didn't spend 200 hours putting together a balsa wood frame, tuning it in and all this stuff, and then, you know, launch it and then have it crash, then you've not really experienced the hobby. That's gatekeeping. Horrible shit. Anyways, let's get a couple I2C devices, and we'll use that as an example. I have some current sensors, I think. Should have some stuff in here. I think this is I2C as well. Don't think so. This is I2C, I think. Yes. SCL SDA. There we go. Plus it looks good on camera. It's purple. It's my channel color. I think that's it. Is this I2C? It's a nice current sensor. I don't know. I don't actually know if this is I2C. Seasoned drone operators can't stand that you can buy one now. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Oh, helicopters is a big deal, yeah. Same deal. Yeah, no, this is just analog out. Yeah, helicopters, that's a big one. Faux shizzle. Okay, I think 4 is enough. Positive. New blood brings new ideas. How do you process? Yeah, of course. Yep. 100%. Okay, so here's the question. When you watch, this will have to be a poll. When you watch a video of mine or someone similar, do you want me to put this together on camera? Do you care about the soldering, the components? Or would you rather the soldering just be a montage or off to the side while I'm talking about the features or whatever? Do you want to see the process of soldering it in the video, or you don't care? That's the question. This is non-binding. I can choose to ignore this, but I'd like to see the sentiment. When you watch electronics video, it comes with useful tips. Do you want to see the soldering, or just a montage / on the side thing? Full soldering, montage, side thing, / recap. So if the soldering comes with useful tips, so the useful tips can be in the recap. But let's poll it and see what happens. I mean, I'm genuinely curious, because when I watch like a pile of stuff video, I actually don't care. Yeah, the screw-ups, I have a good place for them at the end of the video now. But like when I watch a pile of stuff video, I don't care. If he spends a half hour soldering the components and he puts that on camera, I'll watch the whole thing. But like, I guess my question is, I need to know for someone more discerning. Depends. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Curtis, because I don't know the flow. I'm like trying to make the video, but the thing is, I don't want it to be like drag on either. Sped up soldering with maybe some key points and talking about the board or components is fun. Okay, so I like, excuse me, had to cough there, because like I will still bring you in and decide during editing. Yeah. Oh my God, so now it's 50-50. You guys, vote. Vote. Well, it looks like I'm recording the whole process, but the question is, yeah, do we Okay, yep. Might get out the hot plate for this. A couple of years back working in the shop, a streamer was ASCII on audio device, took 7 hours to assemble. All the while a storm in his background was, he was assembling an audio device. Yeah, you know, like that's the thing. So I guess it's 50-50. I'm seeing it's 50-50. Jesus Christ, you guys are no help. I hope you're happy, and I know that most of you are. Probably really proud of yourselves, huh? Okay. This becomes difficult too because in my do a short and long version. Yeah, conclusion, it depends. That means that, anyways, regardless, it means I'm recording the whole thing. And then we're going to have to trim in post. You like uncut soldering during streams? Yeah, but streams you wouldn't cut, right? You're there. I honestly don't want to solder the Stemma QTs. It seems pretty horrible, but I'm gonna have to do it either way. It's weird, but the ones that do the work, also the ones you like to watch the most, even though you know how to do the work. Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult. Right now, my channel views, let me just see here. I think my channel views are up overall. Yeah, so channel views are up. Watch time, hold on. Oh, channel views are about the same. Watch time is about the same. Subscribers is down. And revenue is about the same. It's weird what's happening on YouTube. There is now a hype option though. Oh, this is the cool part though. Let me just hide most of my phone. When my multimeter video is the highest viewed in the last 48 hours, that excites me. That is my most prideful video. And when it bypasses the battery video, which I get a shit ton of negative comments on, I'm so happy. Although the battery video has the most views overall, because like at 1.3 million now, at 1.25 million. I'm hoping my multimeter video eventually gets there. Multimeter video is at 232. It's like 1 million views less. crazy. Okay, so let's put this in a PCBWay box so that I have the proper branding. So these PCBs are kind of going away because of my standardized. By the way, Gerald, do you have a 3D printer at home? Are you going to print the cases as well? One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the 10th is over there. Okay, battery level is okay. There's a lot of junk on my workbench. No 3D printer. Give me a moment. What's I trying to do? Let me see what I can do once my designs are finalized. Once my box designs are finalized, maybe I could just mail you some, because if I'm not mistaken, you're in Ontario, so it'll only cost me like $15 to send them to you. But I need to finalize my designs first, because I don't know if you want like the rail system, but there'll be a rail system. Those should be all clipped in. We'll see. Okay, so this is okay. This has space. These can go over here somewhere. Okay, straighten this up. Straighten the mat for all my OCD viewers. Although the text upside down is really bothering some of my viewers, which is, I mean, I find it a little bit funny. Also, Gerald, check your local library. If they have a makerspace, usually they'll 3D print you stuff for the price of filament. So you're going to pay like $3 for 100 grams. And just for your information, this one, which is, I think is too big, is 33 grams. I think this will be more accurate. Yeah, about 26 grams. So very, very small amount of dollars. Okay. So let's see. So I say blah, 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 blah. PCBWay. and then these things. Okay, so blah, 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 PCBWay, pull out these things. Okay, I think I got it. Need my mics though. Freaking, it's the 13th and PCBWay still hasn't paid me. Starting to get a little worried. I don't want to poke the bear though. I'm going to mute my mic because I'm going to put on this mic. I specifically grabbed this to mute my mic and I didn't. All right, should be unmuted now. Okay. Wish I could explain to you guys how tired I'm feeling. I feel like I should go nap, but I need to work. Being an adult sucks sometimes. Now I need to blow my nose. God damn it. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Sorry about that. All right. I think that's good to go. Can't nap till Franco wakes up? Yeah, that could be forever. Have you ever unboxed your shiny new... Let me try that again. Have you ever unboxed your... Do I have a SD card in there? I do. Have you ever unboxed your shiny new I2C sensor or display or device or whatever, and then have to figure out what the I2C address is? Yeah, I know. You can like breadboard something and sort of, you know, get an idea. Let me try again. I know you can breadboard something up real quick and then use an I2C scanner. I usually end up breadboarding something really quick using an I2C scanner sketch and then running it, getting the address, and then going on with my life. But I've always wished I had something on my bench ready to go. And actually, a suggestion from a regular viewer of mine made me do just that. So I have designed and built a PCBWay project that uses an RP2040 and a couple of simple components, and now I'll have something on my bench forever that I'll just be able to plug my I2C devices in and get the address. So let's assemble this and then we'll talk about the features. Excuse me. I think that's close enough. Okay, good enough. Let's put this shit away. Actually, we'll not put this shit away, and the reason for that is because we're going to test the I2C addresses of these devices. Perfect. Okay, so we have the PCB logo on screen. They should be happy. So let's do it. Okay. Okay, I don't know. This is probably going to be too close. Yeah, that will not focus. I have to put it like here. Don't know if that's focused. This lens has incredibly shitty focus distance. All right, so that'll work. Now we need to heat up the iron. The iron butterfly, rock and ore roll. Let that heat up and heat soak a little bit. I need my solder. So I guess I need my Stemma QT connectors. I need some AMS 1117s and a couple of caps. So here's Stemma QTs. my caps. I'm going to use my flux. And then I need AMS 1117s, one of them. All right. By far the hardest components to solder on this board are the optional ones. So the optional Stemma QT/quick connectors, the AMS 1117 3-volt regulator, which again is optional because you can just use the internal regulator. I'll show you that momentarily. And these 0805 capacitors, which have to do with the AMS 1117. So we're going to use one method to solder it here, but everything but the Stemma QT/quick connectors are hand solderable, and I have hand soldered them before. So I'm just doing one method here. I have extra pads to put more capacitors if you need, but I recommend just installing one capacitor. That's all that's really needed. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tin these pads, and then we're going to use a hot plate to solder it. But again, all this is hand solderable if you wish, or if you want to get a stencil, you can get a stencil and squeegee solder paste onto it. I just think a hot plate or a hot air rework station is probably the simplest way to do it. And so here I've tinned all the pads that I'm going to be using. And now I'm just going to squeeze a little bit of solder juice, the rosin flux, on the board. And the flux will hold down our components and at the same time make the soldering easier. If you have a dispenser, it's even easier than this. And then you just place your components. And then when we bring it over to the hot plate, we'll be able to just nudge them into proper alignment and then pull it off the hot plate. Like so. Get it up on that solder blob. AMS 1117. Go over here. If you have a 3-volt regulator that is pin compatible with the AMS 1117, you can use that as well. The design is very flexible, and the regulator is just for your I2C device. So you don't need to worry about powering anything special with it. There we go. Let's heat up the hot plate and bring it back. Let's heat up the hot plate and put it on. The PLA lightweight stuff, yes. My big problem is not with the PLA lightweight itself. It's the fact that I don't have a reliable large format 3D printer to print planes with. I was planning on buying a Voron this year, but the fact that I have to shell out 5 figures for burying the pool, which is happening very soon, means I don't really have the budget anymore for a $1,500 printer. And honestly, I am looking at the H2S Bambu Lab printer, and I am very impressed. So the H2S with an AMS is like 2 Gs. It's tempting. It is very tempting. Just make sure this is in focus. It is not. It is not. How the hell? God damn it. So yeah, maybe at some point I'll be able to get a large format printer. Sorry, did I knock you guys? I don't know. But for the moment, no, because I was able to negotiate an Elegoo Neptune 4 Max. It just happens that it's not great. It's not ideal. Oh boy, please don't fall. Please don't fall. I'm like adjusting my camera mount right now. And if it falls, my camera crashes onto a hot plate. And something just crashed. Yeah, a nice bolt just crashed into my camera. So that was fun. I also have a burn hazard now because this is like 240 degrees. Okay, where did my knob fall now? Things are not going well. Okay, here it is. That's not too bad. So I basically moved my camera 1 notch away from my workbench. And now the bad part is I can barely see my screen. Okay, live view. Did I turn it off? Live view. Okay, there we go. Hopefully I'll be able to focus on it. I need to put something that's not my PCB on it. Okay, yeah. Make sure that's focused. Looks focused enough. I won't be able to press the focus button, but we'll just hope it works. Ali purchase, yeah, AliExpress purchase. Got the hot plate going. Sorry if the focus is going to be bad. I had to change my setup for this, but here it goes. 230 on the hot plate. Just going to pop that down. And now we're just going to wait for the heat to soak through, and I'll just use my tweezers to position the components where they need to go. They should get pulled by the surface tension either way. Yeah, you can see the capacitors moving there. I'm just going to nudge it into place. You guys have a better view than I do. See, this capacitor here didn't cooperate. Just going to nudge it. There we go, it jumped into place. So yeah, the only problematic part is these Stemma QT connectors. They can be a little troublesome. So just give it little nudges. And once we are happy with that, just going to use the tweezers, pull it off the hot plate, and then we need to inspect our work once it cools. Okay, this is really hot now, and I don't have a place to put it. I'll just put it on the silicone pad. Ooh. So yeah, we need to let this cool now. Just going to block the heat from the camera lens. Ooh, that's a bad sign when the power cable has gotten hot as well. Okay, we need to put this somewhere that it can cool in peace. On my dryer. Here you go. You sit on the dryer and think about what you've done. Okay. So let me show you what we got. So we're going to let that cool. Put your coffee in the container. Yeah. So that's the soldering we've done. That looks good. These Stemma QTs, though, will probably be the death of me eventually. They do look like they've soldered well. I need to switch my camera back down, and then we'll inspect this with my macro lens. I don't know if hang on a sec. I do have a potential macro lens for you guys. Can't tell. Like, this looks good. Can't focus on the AMS. There we go. I feel like we may have missed the pads. I think I may have missed the pads. It might work though. Need to make some more hobbyist oriented with some extended pads. Yeah, I think personally, I think it was a shit idea. The Quick and the Stemma QT was not well thought of. Let's go. Oh, here. Has its own continuity. It's really hard to get in there. Okay. We managed. I think so. I think so too. Made for manufacturers to sell more products. I think that's fairly accurate. Small breakout board with just those connectors, then add that to the larger board. Yeah, well, I mean, they sell, AliExpress sells breakout boards. So it's not unheard of. That is the one benefit of the Stemma QT standard. Okay, so I need to drop my camera back down because this is an unsustainable height. I really wish, I love this lens. I really wish it would have a little bit more close focusing. And the thing is, I'm not spending another $2,000 on a different lens to use. And especially because a different lens would mean that it would have to be a higher quality lens. And the higher quality lenses are physically bigger, and I have no more Z height in my setup, if that makes any sense to you guys. And in order to get more Z height, it would be a big job. Like a big job. Drop my knob again. And right now I'm very uncomfortable because my camera is just hanging by a stud, nothing securing it down. That is the largest purchase I have ever made. Actually, until I bought my new car, which is not new, it's used, but still the newest car I own. This camera was the biggest single purchase, aside from my house, I guess, that I've ever made. So the only bigger purchase than that was my house. I've never paid more for a car. Editing the footprint, elongating the pad will help a lot with pencil starter. Yeah. But the problem is the physical anchors. The physical anchors don't really stick out. So you need solder underneath it. Okay, anyways, I need to get coffee. Refresh my cold coffee. And I will do a washroom break at the same time, so I'm not wasting you guys' time. So I guess you guys can go watch Girl with a Banana for a little bit. I will be right back. And I'm back. Thanks for being patient, folks. Alrighty. So, you guys voted 50-50. You guys are nuts. Footprint help a lot with pencil soldering. Yep. Make the pad bigger. It'll flow under with enough flux. Yeah, sorta. All right. So, is my camera on or off? It was off. Okay, so now I can remove this lens. This is the lens that if Franco wakes up, he could be a tiebreaker. Yeah, no, I just ended it. It's fine. So this is the lens that doesn't focus close enough. It is the AFS Nikkor 24-120. It says it's not 1.4 G. It can't be. I don't think the aperture opens that big. This is a focus distance. No manual aperture ring on this. I think it's 1 to 4 G. I think it's f4 is the aperture opening maximum. I don't have a good spot to put this. I guess back here. Okay. And here is my favorite lens ever. Yeah, 2.8 aperture on this one. So this is a Nikon macro lens. I cannot believe this is like a $1,200 lens that I picked up for like 400 bucks. Okay, so that's about as close. VR on, full. It should be on autofocus. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is the right height for taking a look at the board features, but we need even higher. Where did the box go? That's not it. My freaking... I swear I had another filament box underneath here. Where the hell did it go? I'm losing my sight, losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. I'm trying to remember if it was 400, 500, or 600, but either way, it was a smoking deal. Why are you not focusing? That's good. All right. I've got you let me just give it some time. I've got you super zoomed in here so we can take a look at the soldering. As you can see, that looks pretty good on the AMS. But again, you can solder this by hand. That's not a big deal. These guys are the difficult ones to solder. And if I stand this up on end, as you can see, it's quite difficult to tell if you've soldered these properly. This one looks good, in my opinion. This one looks a little bit off. And so you really want to go into these holes here, because they're also the I2C. And you want to do a continuity test from there to there for each of these pins. Now, it's super easy to do because the STQT connector is so tiny, the pins are so small, that you just put your probe in here and then you just probe inside, you know, like towards this side, and you'll get the continuity beep, and then over here, continuity beep. So as long as you get continuity, that's good. And this way. Okay, so that's all continuity. As long as you get all continuity, you're good. But then you can also check in between the holes. These are all connected in parallel. So you can use any of these I2C holes to check the continuity on here, or if you have any shorts. Now that that's good, we can move on. All right, so I think that's good. Sorry, you guys can't see very well, but that's because for those of you who are new to the stream, since I see the viewers have gone up, I'm recording on another camera over here. So you guys are kind of like hanging out with me. How's it going? I test things. I can't get over it. ITT. ITT is a acronym that you'll see on Reddit often. And it means in this thread. So I'm having issues getting over that. Are we focused? Yeah, we're focused. So I need to go upstairs and get cotton swabs, but instead I'll just use this AliExpress medical kit. Oh no, it's not a Ziploc. Shit. Because I know they have swabs in there, but I don't want to. I thought I was just going to be able to steal one of these cotton swabs, but it's sealed. Kind of want to keep them. You don't use Reddit? You're going to have to, sadly. That's how you market your YouTube channel. Mind you, I don't use Reddit. But don't look at me. I'm not even successful. Right? Don't follow my example. Do as I say, not as I do. But yes, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I love seeing our regular chatters in here chatting. At some point, Franco's going to wake up from his nap. Yeah, some good groups for electronics, I agree. Okay, I think that's clean enough. Where's my rag? So I got a shop rag here. There we go. But yeah, I test things. Go check out on YouTube, see if you can find the commercials for ITT Tech, ITT Technical Institute. I believe ITT ended up like being a for-profit school, so it's like of dubious and questionable reputation. My alcohol's almost done. I've got, can't really show you, but I've got probably 50 mils left. Probably less, 25 mils left. Okay, so shut down the camera. Yeah, I remember all sorts of ITT Tech commercials. You know what's weird? So the wife and I had gone to Las Vegas, long time ago, maybe 2015, something like that, 2015. We had a hotel room, and there's a TV in the hotel room. In the States, there are so many for-profit colleges. People will call you ITT in any case, just the initial, yeah. They fell hard. They were good before they soured. They had held out for a little longer. They would have been rich, yeah. So, yeah, in the States, there is an incredible amount of, like, for-profit schools. There were schools advertising on TV in the hotel room for like to be like a construction flag person. It's like, oh, you can start your training today. Why won't it zoom you out? I think my camera is knackered. There we go. Jesus Christ, that was difficult. You continue what you were doing. Okay. So, yeah, they were selling like all sorts of courses. It was like crazy to see. It's just like they were selling anything and everything. It was like such specific little things. It was like medical office administrative assistant chronicler or something. It was like they had courses for like all sorts of... Oh, that's not good. Why is this not coming up? Jesus, that's tight. It was like the specificity was like insane. Closed in your state, Ohio, in 2016, displaced like 2,000 students. Yeah, crazy. So yeah, Americans, I don't understand you. But keep on keeping on. It's like chef, like it would be like cook, like produce specializing procurement for chefs or something. It was like all sorts of weird shit. Okay, my focus is not working. What is going on? VR is on. Okay, there we go. Touch focus now works. Weird. Okay, gotta turn on the soldering iron. It was weird too, watching TV in the States. You may need yeah, I'm a mess this morning. I was up at 6 doing my coding while we wait for the soldering iron to do its thing. We come over here. Blue Sky. By the way, do not use Twitter. Use Blue Sky. Simple Electronics. Day 20. So I've only missed a single day in a row. So of in the last 20 days, no, last 21 days, I've done 20 days of learning to code. So as you can see, I'm getting damn close to, let's see, so 344 divided by 1156 times 100. I am almost a third of the way through the CSS. Almost a third of the way. I saw this thing with 1,156 steps and thought there's no way I'm getting this done ever. But I'm almost a third of the way, and I haven't even done this for a month. So yeah, and pretty soon I will have a website for you guys to check out that I'm working on just to get my skills working properly. So yeah, pretty soon it's coming. All right, now let's get ready to solder. How's my battery doing? Battery is doing great. Okay. One more thing to keep in mind is that the I2C portion here is powered by the decision of this jumper. And so if you want to use this AMS 1117 as your regulator, you're going to have to bridge the center and the external pad here. So this is your selection. It goes to the external if you want to use this AMS 1117. The Pi Pico on here is going to be powered by its internal regulator and an external 5 volts no matter what. But it's for all the stuff down here you need to choose if you're using the AMS 1117, which you need to bridge here. Or if you're just going to use the Pi Pico's internal regulator right here, you just bridge from the middle out to the right here. The big difference, the only difference, is that the AMS 1117 is a much larger regulator, and so it can dissipate a bit more heat. I think you can get up to 1 amp of current. That's a lot. My idea for putting an external regulator optionally here is so that your I2C device, if you plug it in wrong, it won't brown out your Raspberry Pi Pico. Also, I do believe that I have set this up for the OLED display, which comes onto here. It will be using the internal regulator. So your OLED display and your Raspberry Pi Pico shouldn't brown out if you short the connections here. It should only affect your AMS 1117. So for this example, since I've installed the AMS, I am just going to bridge the pads to use the external regulator. So all you have to do is you just heat up that pad, add a little bit of solder, heat up the middle pad, add a little bit of solder, bridge them together. Once you get enough solder on there, it'll be bridged, and There we go. So now we have permanently the external regulator. External regulator. External regulator. We permanently have the external regulator. Should do. Okay, so now we need male, male, female, and then we'll do that thing last. Just a couple more things to note. I'm not going to show you soldering it all up because you've seen it a million times before, but the Raspberry Pi Pico actually goes on the backside of the board, and so if you flip this around, you'll see there's the symbol for the USB, so you just put your Raspberry Pi Pico in here. You can either socket it or solder it directly to the board. That's up to you. But the important thing is that you put your pin headers in here and then you put your Pi Pico on top and then you solder them together. If your pin headers are already soldered to your Pi Pico, it's going to be difficult to plug that in. Next thing is that this is for the OLED here. And so I have a standard OLED that I use in all my projects. So I will put a female header here. And then down here, you have two sets of headers, which are just in parallel. I like to put one male, one female. However, if you just set the OLED on the board, this one will be covered. You won't be able to use this one unless you have a really small OLED. So I go male, female, and I would probably remotely install my OLED. We'll show you that a little bit later on. And then here you need 3 pin headers, males, with a jumper. So you get to choose if your STQT and your I2C connections get 3.3 or 5 volts. Don't think I'm going to solder all that. Okay. Next up, I'm going to grab this guy. I'll do this after. First, I'm just going to solder all these things as we've seen before. Not going to do it on camera. I don't think it's necessary. So we need 3 for this. I have so many snips in my arsenal, but they're all missing at the moment, as always. Well, the other parts went flying to Timbuktu. Okay, I'm going to solder these. Like so. And then male, female. So the pin headers flew somewhere over here. Oh, nice, they bounce back. All right, so we need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, so cut one off the end. So male pins. I don't know if I should be narrating more what I'm doing here, but I'm just soldering up the other pin headers. So there's the male ones. They're a little bent. That's okay. And then I'll put the female ones down here, and I'll put some female ones here as well. Need to order more female 4 pins. Time is it? It's 10:15. Jesus Christ, where does the time go? Kind of a pain in the butt to get these things to line up. You can use tighter holes, but the issue with that is that they become a little bit difficult to do other things with. Like you can't just pop your pins directly in. Also, you can solder these on helping hands or stuff like that, but it just, most of the time, I just don't need to deal with that. Looks about right. Then you can put it down. There we go. Very nice. Next one here. There we go. It should work. Solder these guys on. Okay, and now we're going to use, I think it's 9-pin female headers for here. The reason I'm using headers is because I'm probably not going to be using this. So I need to make sure that I don't burn a RP2040 just for this that I'm probably not going to use. It's pretty important to me to make sure that this is going to be accessible. We will just steal this RP2040 out of here. Can always put it back after. I don't know what code is in it. I don't know if it's already the I2C scanner or if it was the temp sensors or what. I literally bought pliers to remove stuff from breadboard. Here we go. Looking for these. There we go. So we're only going to have one video recorded by the end of today. That is not great amount of recording. My soldering is getting sloppy, folks. I think I might be getting too tired. So we're going to finish this video, and then I'm probably going to have to call it quits for the day. I have some stuff to do anyways before the contractor comes in. So if I get enough of that stuff done today, then tomorrow we can stream. If not, we can't stream tomorrow, because I don't want to delay the contractors coming in and doing their thing. There we go. So that's all soldered in. You delay them, it costs you, yeah. No, Lock Watcher. They're filling it with sand. I'm getting the pool demolished. I'm getting the pool demolished for 2/3 the price of getting it fixed. And so, first of all, we don't have a lot of money. This is like all our emergency fund. It's all gone. I don't know if you heard on the podcast a while ago, but I was saying like, oh, finally, I am starting to be able to be comfortable or whatever while I was working at the college before I lost my job. Well, that was because I had access to like finally I had some money left over after paying taxes and stuff for the year. Well, that money's all gone. Home pools are definitely overrated. The thing is, this pool didn't cost us anything to buy because it was included with the house. It came with the house. The issue is that the concrete surround sunk like days ago, weeks ago. Yeah, something like that. And now we have to deal with it. So we have to either fix it or bury it. And we chose to bury it because it's cheaper. And honestly, we're not pool people anyways. So in the long run, it's going to be a positive thing because the pool being gone means that we don't have to keep sinking money into it every year because you have to maintain a pool. It doesn't just sit there and do nothing. If you don't maintain it, you get massive amounts of problems. So it's a positive thing that we're getting rid of it. It's just I didn't want to spend the money, like my only emergency fund, on that. So now, for example, if the roof collapses, I'll have to borrow money to fix it. But maybe I'll pick up a coding job next year, and then maybe I'll be able to build up my funds again. Like it's not doom and gloom. It's something we have to do. And now, not having to deal with the pool in the future means that we're going to be a little bit less financially strained. So we might actually get that money back, over the course of the next 10 years because of the running costs of the pool are going to be negated now. You know what I mean? Just making sure, yeah, so that fits. So I have 2 cases for this, because I want to demo the other case as well. Oh, and yes, pools are very expensive to operate. It was probably about $400 a year in chemicals, and probably about $500 to $600 a year in electricity. And then it was probably, I don't know, 60 to 120 hours of labor. So it was a lot. And it's funny because I lost my job because of the provincial government decided they didn't want to pay for school. That's what happened. Did I say federal government? Provincial government. I found out, telling my neighbors that there's going to be construction, when I went around to tell them, I found out my neighbor also lost her job due to provincial government cuts. So that was interesting to find out. Like, horrible and sad, but interesting. Okay, this is off. Let me swap the battery in the camera. I think it's actually doubly interesting that my neighbor lost her job because of provincial funding, but sadly I can't get into why it's doubly interesting. And here it is, all soldered up. So the only thing missing is an I2C OLED. Now, the OLEDs that I've decided to go with for this project and standardize across all my project are the ones that have the pins ground, VCC, SCK, SCK and SDA in that order. And so that's what will fit directly here. However, I do recommend you remote mounting your OLED, because then you have access to both the spots down here. Now let's go over the features of the board. So the features are, I intend for you to remote mount this OLED, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. However, as you can see, there's missing copper pore here. Maybe you can see, maybe not. And that is because this board is going to be also compatible with all of the Zero boards. So that's the ESP32 S3 0, the ESP32 C6 0, and the RP2040, this one here, 0, and the 2350 variant of that as well. So if you want to have wireless capabilities, it's going to be built in. Why would you want that wireless? Well, that is going to be part of a bigger project that we will find out about at a later date. The other thing is that you can use one of these little jumper flags to either link the VCC on all of these to 3.3, either from your internal or external regulator, or to 5 volts, so you can use both kind of devices. You have your optional STQT connectors here, so if you have the STQT, you can just plug them right in like that. You also have broken out the SCL and SDA, both circuits that we're using, the one for the OLED and the one for scanning, you have them broken out here in case you need some pull-up resistors. You don't need them in most cases, but if you're having unplanned if you're experiencing some weird behavior when you're plugging into the scanning port, maybe put some pull-up resistors there as well. And of course, like in most of my boards, all of the pins are broken out to the side. So if you want to hack this and add functionality, go right ahead. Make sure to post it on socials and tag me in them. So with no further ado, let's plug this thing in. So actually I have, and before we plug this thing in, I have one more feature to show you. More interesting because you can't talk about it. Yeah. I mean, I sort of could. It's just not good form. You know? Why does the focus not work? Oh, you have to press and hold because the focus style I have. Okay, that's interesting. I sort of could, it's just not good form. It's like, you know, it's a delicious piece of irony, I can tell you that. But yeah, you know, it's just, it's not kind. It's not kind to talk about it. So I shan't. I try to be kind. But anyways, I feel really bad for, I have been sort of eating poo about losing my job for a while because we were kind of like, my department was always like, you know, sort of on the chopping block. I don't know if that makes sense. Because we had the government, provincial government, cancel contracts that they had said were going to go forward. So they had canceled a whole bunch of them. It's been 3 years now that they've been kind of messing with us. So I kind of had time to make my peace with it. Like, I don't know how long you can go back on the podcast about me talking about this stuff, but regardless, I will say Lockwatcher, it has nothing to do with her specifically who lost her job, so that's why it's more interesting than, you know, whatever. Anyways, yeah, so I had a opportunity to sort of live it, and she, for her, it was like that. It was, oh, here, it was like that. It was instant. She didn't get any warning. There was no like budget cut after budget cut after budget cut. It was just like, bam, you're shut down. So she took it badly, which, I mean, I feel terrible for her. She is gainfully employed again, so like she's okay, but now she's working in a situation that she enjoys a lot less than what she had before. It's not a good match. But she's gainfully employed, which is good. My problem is that my teaching skills from college, they don't really work. They can't be parlayed into different teaching skills, like going to teach like high school or whatever, unless I go get another degree. So in case you didn't know, you do not need a degree, teaching college degree, to teach at the college level. Degrees are it's for teachers to understand the way children learn. It's almost like some level of psychology, right? It's like kids need to learn a certain way based on science. In college, you're an adult. So a professor is more of a subject matter expert and a guide rather than like an expert in learning, you know? So that's the big difference. So I don't have a diploma, like a teaching diploma. I don't have teaching credentials. So for me, I completely lost everything. My only hope is to get a job at another college, but all the colleges are being affected by the same cuts. So there you have it. All right. Let's heat this up to, I don't know, to maybe 180. Let that heat up because it has to heat up the brass in here. But yeah, the irony with the neighbor sadly has nothing to do with her. She's a victim in all this. Guess I should get some screws out. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to need to check this too. Your final 2 years was a vocational school. All the teachers were from the industry rather than degrees. Yeah, that doesn't happen much here. There's pretty good educational standards, and you need to be, there's like an oversight, a teacher oversight group, almost like a union, and you have to be part of that oversight group, and for them to accept you, you need a degree, essentially. All right, so let's go. So I did mention that this needs to sit on your workbench and be able to be used whenever you need it, and so I have designed a case for it. So very simple design, box shape, and I'll explain to you the features in a moment. And then we're just going to put these M3 brass inserts, threaded inserts in. So this case, designed by me, will have more robust mounting systems than the battery holder or the battery door on a lot of your products you have at home that have been designed by high-paid engineers. Okay, and we're just going to heat set these in. Got to keep the soldering iron pretty straight for this. Soldering iron is a bit hot, 180 degrees. And this is printed in Elegoo PLA Pro in black, and it was printed on my Voron V0 that I put together on live streams about a year or more ago now. Just make sure these are nicely seated. You do want them just slightly below the surface. And then this should sit nicely in here. USB goes in this cutout here, and the cutout allows you to either socket your micro like I did here, or solder it directly onto the board, and either way will function. Sits in there all nice like. And then I have a lid for this that sits like that. and gives you space for your ST-QT connectors. And there's plenty of space, so you can use pretty much any length of M3 screw you want. And then your OLED just slots in at the top like this, and your tool is ready. Looks good, huh? So the only thing that looks bad because I don't have the OLED holder, because it's this, but it doesn't fit. My design doesn't quite fit the way it is right now. Should be featured in Make News. I mean, not necessarily. I should also design a new top that blocks this part off, but yeah, so I really, in this case, I should have flipped the OLED this way. But yeah, that's not the deal. It's too bad this won't fit. I mean, it does sort of fit. It'll be just tight to get this clip in there. I could modify this very slightly and have it fit, because this looks way better than that. This looks a million times better than that. Oh, I'm debating, do I want to delay my video another day to have the proper OLED display? Because I can do this today. It would look a lot better. Like a lot better. Because this honestly does look good. Ah, screw it. I guess I'll just delay my freaking stupid video. God damn it. Yeah, I know it can do an update, but the thing is, Gerald is kind of right. If this gets picked up on Hackaday, okay, let me start from the very beginning. I don't typically make polished projects. That's not my jam. But this one is very polished, like with the I2C scanner and my logo and whatever. If this gets picked up by a place like Hackaday, like if someone submits my project to Hackaday, it looks like ass right now. If I put, well, it looks okay. It looks okay right now. But if I have this, that looks fantastic. This is a finished piece of equipment you can put on your workbench now. You know what I mean? So I think I should just do it. I can even make it simpler. I can just have it jut out straight out. It doesn't need to be fancy. So delay to finish it. Yeah, to make it look more presentable. Because I'm looking at this now. This looks great. And so if we delay it a day, but it ends up 50% nicer, more finished, more polished, I think that's a valid. Ouch, you're saying nobody will watch my update, ITT? No, I think you're right. Oh, I hate it when people are right. Okay, opening up FreeCAD. By the way, FreeCAD, like this would have been done a week ago if it wasn't for FreeCAD. Look at all the freaking files, like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Yeah, look at this, with the vents. This one. What OLED are you looking for? I'm not waiting for anything. I need to design this holder. So that's the problem. I need to design the 3D printed part to fit the OLED, essentially. Okay, so let's grab this. I need to grab some geometry here. Not this one. Kind of this one. Yeah, I know. I was just messing with you. It's completely fine. I am also noticing that I really should... Oh my God. I really should learn more FreeCAD. Because, like, for example, if I grab my lid here, right, I could recreate this geometry, but it's like not simple. It's not easy to do. Like, I can measure this, but measuring is a little bit weird in FreeCAD. Anyways, let's start a new part. And we'll call this, rename 0.96 OLED holder version 2. Okay, it's my active part. Grab this guy and then create. So grab this guy and then create a binder, and then delete that, and then we have the binder. Now we can work on this. Okay, so I need now the overall height. So it cannot be any longer than 39. So it needs to end at 39 millimeters. So I'm thinking I'm going to do both on the same day, code and FreeCAD. I know I'm biting off a lot, but if I can be a little whiny for a moment, if you'll allow me that, I'm getting pretty sick and tired of not being able to work in fields that I want to work in. So I kind of want to pick up as many skills as I can. I've been slacking. I've truly and honestly been slacking on picking up skills. The internet is such a phenomenal place. You can cry if you want to, yes. Most people will just rage quit though. The internet is just such a phenomenal place. And you can learn so many things, but I haven't been, quite simply. So now is the time. Okay, so distance. What did I say again? I always forget. You're working a bit of a dream job? Yeah. See, my problem is I was working a dream job, but then I got complacent and I lost it. So 39. So I lost my dream job. I was carefully, biding my time for when my mentors were going to retire. They were all ready and willing to recommend me to take their place. And it's just not going to happen because the world crumbled. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so I did this last time too. This causes issues. They really don't want you
Like, I don't know how to bring this arc in. So I can do that, but I don't know how to. If I take this arc, pop it there, pop it there, pop it there. Okay, that did work. Okay. It's really hard to get right on that correct. You need the constraint to be an X. Let's see, no, this one broke. So now I've got partially redundant constraints. And I don't get, oh my God. Sorry, guys. So why does adding an arc ruin all of my shit? So I have 17 partially redundant constraints. If I remove it, now look, everything's good, but I'm missing this corner. But I add my arc, grab right on here, grab right on here, grab right on here, what if I grab my arc, not constrain it to there, do constrain it to here, and do constrain it to here, and then constrain this to there? That doesn't work. Take my arc and I screw off this way and go there to there. And then I say this one to there, this one to there, and this one to there. That doesn't work. I don't know how to bring this geometry over. And it worked here. Just sending you to the naughty chair for a second. Hey, Franco. What happens if I do that? So that doesn't work either. Oh my God, I hate new software. In FreeCAD, I have a binder in my part, that has rounded corners. I need the perimeter of half that binder, so I made lines that have, what's the constraint? Coincident constraint. Constraints. On everything but the rounded corners. When it comes to making the rounded corners, everything but the rounded corners, and I did that by bringing in the external geometry to my sketch. It comes to making the rounding corners when I do one of them with an arc. It works. Everything fully constrained. But when I do the last corner with the arc tool, it says now 17 items have partial redundancies, even though I was careful to constrain things properly. Any ideas? Try a fillet instead of a drawn arc. Okay, delete one of the newest. No, that's... Nope, that's... Okay, that's not working. This. What's this constraint? I don't even see. That one. So that's this constraint. I don't know where this one is. Can you just center it, please? Oh, it's this one, right? No. No. So that one. It's not working. Austria won the World Tram Driver Championships. Okay, let's change tack. I hate this. We have to do it. Oh. Okay. Delete this. Delete this. Delete this. I hate new software. New software. Okay. This to this, this to this, this. Oh, cannot do that. Okay, okay. This to this, that is 39, we've decided. Okay. This to this. Okay, that's now fully constrained. Okay, now we're going to use a fillet of fish. Here and here. And we're going to dimension it. Wait. This to be equal to this. This to be equal to this. Okay. So you need to find a different way to do it, and then it works. We are fully constrained. Ah, Jesus. So that's how you do it. There and there. Oops. Fillet. There. And then this. 1 millimeter radius. 1 millimeter radius. We got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we got it. So you just got to do things differently. Frustrating. Okay. Up by 2 millimeters now. 2 millimeter pad. There we go. Let's just flip this guy around. Okay. Good. Good so far. Now let's create a sketch on this face. What is it? It's a OLED holder. Here, let me explain to you, since you are a bit tardy coming to the stream. Because you had a nap. This is what the final project for the video we're making looks like. Okay. And it looks pretty good. Has cutouts. It's all good. I'm razzing you. So it looks pretty good. The thing that it's missing is a little bit of polish. to get that polish, I would like to put this in. So now it'll look very good. However, this doesn't quite fit. So I'm redesigning this to make it fit, essentially. So that's what I'm up to. I'm going to need this measurement here. It says 420. Doesn't seem right. I think it's 4 millimeters. So let's say 4 millimeters from the top, 29 across, and 2 from the bottom. So 4 and 2 is our margins, and 29 across. Four and 2 are our margins. So we have our sketch, yep. Okay, so, oh, need to bring in external geometry, whoopsies. Okay, so 4 here. Two here. Oh, shit, not on screen. And then here to here should be 29. Okay, and then we just need to set our symmetry. We are fully constrained. That's good. Close this. And we have our sketch, and we shall pad it up. Maybe we'll go 15 mil up, maybe even 20 mil up. Give us more space to run wires on the inside. Is that what I want? No. So yes on this, but I'll go back to here. This sketch. Oh, nope. This sketch. Back to here. I want 2 millimeter here. Close, and then if I, there we go. I've decided 2 millimeter here because I need some space to cut out of here. Okay. So now I'm kind of trying to work in 3 dimensions here. How's it going, bro? I'm almost done. I'll probably be at noon. I'll be done. Hopefully you're not starving before then. Okay, I'm just trying to think of how I'm going to cut this. All the bills paid broke again. Yup, that's life, sadly. Okay. Here, I'm going to do a bold move. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make a sketch on it. Yeah. Bold move. Let's see how it plays out. Bring in these external geometries. Okay, I'm going to go up. Let's say 4 millimeter. Okay, dimension 4 millimeter. And then I'll come here across .4 millimeter. And you know what? I want to turn these into construction lines. This construction line, okay. Good. I'm going to take this, come across this way, then this, cross this way, cross this way. Oh, sorry. Done at noon. Maybe just before noon. I want to get this I want to get this done. Okay, pocket this. And then to face. There we go. Okay. Okay, I want to try a new method for hollowing this out. This angle may be too much, but maybe it won't be. Okay, so grab this. Okay, bring in external geometry. This, and this. And this. Okay, and now I'm going to make a construction line. Like this, and make a construction line like this. Uh, 180 minus 45. Oh, wrong angle. $180 plus 45? Why can't I type? Oh my God. Did that make a line? Okay. Redo. I wish there was just an offset tool. Hang on. Does FreeCAD have a offset tool for sketches. Sketcher tools offset geometry. So my day was putting all the wires in the wrong way and having things working not as expected even after, oh yeah. That is a most common thing I've dealt with too. Rotate, move, offset. Okay, cannot offset. Okay. Can I offset this? I can. Okay. New idea. Oh shit. There to there. Put headers, yeah. I mean, it's all part of the learning process. You tend to screw it up much less. Once you've done that a couple times. Offset. Ah, yes. Minus 1 millimeter. Okay, now I don't know why that's not constrained. Don't know. So this is exactly what I wanted. Delete this. I want this exactly, but now I want it to go straight to the bottom. So here to here, 1 millimeter. Here to here, 1 millimeter. And then this, I want it constrained to there. Up. And then from here to here, one millimeter. From here to here, sure, whatever that is. Still has under constrained, here to here, 1 millimeter. And then here to here. So this is constrained. So now what moves? Okay. So this length, whatever that is. So now what moves? That's constrained. Now just this length. Okay, what's not constrained? Oh. So from, oh, actually, you know what? I'm just going to draw a line from there to there. And then give this a length. Okay. Fully constrained. Oh my God. We've done this. Ladies and gentlemen, we've done this. So it's 29 across. Okay. Close. Okay, so now we're going to take this, we're going to pocket it. So if we just pocket through all, this is what we get. That's not what I want. Two dimensions. How would I do that? So I want to cut everything but up to face, and then you select the face, this one, so that'll cut the whole thing. But I want to re-add thickness. It's not what I want to do. So I want to move this in by one. So the thing is, when you pocket, so pad, you could offset it. So this looks like it's doing nothing right now, but that's because it has to be a pocket full of sunshine. Okay, okay. I'm going to try to do the workaround way. I'm going to pocket it. Oh, no. Cancel. So sketch, pocket, to face. You select the face. Okay, so we got a new to pocket here. Oh, but it won't cut. Okay, I need to edit my sketch. Actually, need to come down. Oh, damn. Oh, screw it. I'll do it manually. So we need to pocket. to face. Select this face. Okay. Okay. Now, this is like a lot of friggin' work. I'm gonna do the other side before doing anything else. Okay, make a sketch. Flip this around. All right, bring in this, 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 and this. Okay, make a rectangle. Okay, we need 2 millimeter. Wait, no. 3 millimeter. Almost fell for my own problem here. 3 millimeter, and then it's 29 across. Minus 2 millimeter, so 27. And then we need a symmetrical constraint here to here to here. Close. Grab that pocket to face. This face. Okay. This is complicated, but we are making progress. Good. We are making progress. Okay. So now, grab this. Grab that, make a sketch. Bring in external geometry. This, 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 this. Make lines. I have to say, Fusion 360 is way more intuitive than this. But the price is right on this. Okay. Close, fully constrained. Grab this, pad it, reverse it. 1 millimeter. Okay. So now let's look at what we've done. Yaha, we've closed it up. And if you look from the bottom, oh my God, it's working. It is working. My whole goal is to get this done and printing, and then we can end the stream. It won't print in one stream. And you know what? I'll open Cura in case it will print in one stream, but I don't think so. Okay, so external geometry. This, 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 this. Lines. This, this, this. Oh my God. This. 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 Fully constrained. Close. Pad. 1 millimeter. Reverse direction. Okay. We have built a hollow. It works. Okay, now we just need to cut out the area for our OLED and then round the corners, and then we're done. Grab this. All right, so we need to grab external geometry for centering and shit, I guess. All right, we need to grab our majiggy jaggers from here, our dimensions. 20 mil, you know what, I need to write this down. I know Franco's here, but I'm gonna still write it down. I'm gonna be a mature adult and write stuff down. Okay. So we have okay, and here's the I squared C or whatever. So here is 20 millimeter center to center. Okay. This looks to be about 23 millimeter center to center. We don't have a lot of space here, so we kind of have to open this right up. So our hole is going to be 24. Let's go 25. So our hole has to be 25. This will come down like 4. Four to the center. We need to go up like 5. And that can be 5 as well. So our hole, and then let's go 20 top to bottom. Yeah, 20. Oh, Gerald, that stuff will be for another stream, but thank you. Okay, so we need to cut a hole 20 up and 5, 25, and then 20 across. Sorry, 15 across. Right, 15 across will be enough. More than enough. Okay, so I think I got my dimensions. Okay. All right, let me just design my hole. So I need a rectangle. Actually, it can't be a rectangle. It has to be these fancy lines. Okay, so line. Horizontal. Oh, this tool. Horizontal, like so, like so, like so, like so, like so, like so. Okay. This is the hole we want. Okay, this length has to be 25 millimeters. This length is 20. This and this hook up on the same thing. Oh, hey, Peter. How's it going? Did I miss you earlier? I hope not. This one is 5 millimeters. And then this and this are equal. This and this are equal. This and this are equal. Okay, and then this and this are symmetrical to there. Okay, so this is all good. Now we want to judge how high this goes. So this to here, let's call that 5. We're fully constrained. That's good. Now I just need to make our 2 millimeter circles. 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay. From one another, they are 20. And then this from one another, they are 20. This from one another, they are 23. This from one another, they are 23. And then these are symmetrical to there. These are symmetrical to there. Now, what is missing? The up and down. So then this to there is 2.5, fully constrained. Send it, close. All right, grab this, pocket it out of there. Pocket, like so. Up to face, select face, this one. So this will need supports, sadly. But it is what it is. Just woke up and took the dog for a pee. Nice. Okay, so that should work. Now we just need to fillet all the corners. I think we'll be good. So if I grab fillet, oh, cancel. Okay. So if I go fillet this, no, you know what? I don't want that. Remove. Get out of there. Cancel. So fillet this, 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 and go this. Actually going to see if I just fillet all of it. We'll see what it looks like. This, sure, this and this. Preview. It's not able to fillet these for whatever reason. Oh, that looks ugly. Preview. It doesn't look good. Missing some edges. This one and this one. Preview. Looks good. Oh, I have this edge. Not convinced it looks better, but we'll see. Preview. Sure, let's try that. Maybe I'll regret it, but we'll see. All right, and I'm just gonna fillet this edge. Seems kind of important to fillet. Fillet this guy and this guy. 1 millimeter. Preview. That looks good. Okay. Might regret all those fillets, but we'll find out. We will certainly find out. All right, so let's grab this and export. Send you the naughty chair. Export. Save. And then let's bring it into Cura. So it doesn't matter, it can't print anything today. Like I'll print it here, but you guys won't see it on stream. Storage, 3D projects. Is the date modified? Just no 1 hour and 17 minutes, but I don't think it'll print because of the overhangs. So we will do supports. Print speed. Support. Generate support. Let's try tree supports. Slice. Slicing failed. Okay, it can't do tree supports. Normal. Actually, I'll try tree again, but touching build plate only. See if that works. Failed. Okay, normal supports. See what it looks like. right. So we're going to send that to the Voron, and that is the end of stream, folks. Let me just turn on the Voron. I'm just gonna get it ready for printing, because I do want to print it now. Just not like while you guys are watching. So yeah, we didn't get our video done, but it's not all lost. You can just get the Voron up on my screen and upload the print to it. So yeah, we didn't lose everything, because we got a lot accomplished. Just waiting for my Voron to load. Okay, let's upload a file. Open. Gonna preheat. Speed is going to be 50% for the first layer. Print. Give me a second, guys. Ugh. Hold on a sec. There we go. So we're going to watch it start, because we do have time. We have 5 minutes. And I'm going to also make sure that it prints well. What's the hot end temp? 211. Oh, it made it up to temp very quickly. Here it goes. Splooging some filament out. There you go. Okay, so that'll print, and we'll catch you. So tomorrow, very likely I'll be live streaming tomorrow. It'll just depend on how much I get done today. So I will do my best to get as much done as possible, so I can film tomorrow morning and then edit tomorrow afternoon. But thank you guys all for watching. Oh, there's a blob. Well, that didn't stick at all. So we're canceling the print. Okay, have a good one, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully it's going to be tomorrow.